Hi. Let me know when you're ready to start.
Oh, we already started.
Hi everyone. So my name is Winnie.
And I am Femi.
And we are the Doyle-Marshalls.
Yes.
Thank you for tuning in. If you are watching, which you obviously are if you're listening to us right now, this is our second video. So we just shot a video last week, just kind of introducing who we were, and we asked for some questions and you gave us some. So we're gonna do a little Q&A today.
Q&A with the DMs.
Yeah.
Okay. Who is the jokester in the couple?
Can you guess? I'll give you 5 seconds to like guess. Okay, it's Femi.
You didn't even get 5 seconds, like 2 seconds. Okay. So yeah.
He tries.
It's natural. You know,
he tries.
It's just the Doyle-Marshall talent.
Okay, next. Story. What's the best vacation you've ever been on? From Sophia. Thank you, Sophia.
I would tie it to two. So like one of the ones we had probably in the last year was going to England, right? So we took a trip visiting family, friends out in England, and it was a crazy, amazing experience.
So good.
Where we spent about 10 days.
Amazing.
10 days?
Yeah, 10 days, which felt like, it just felt like it felt longer because we were just having so much fun and we did so much. And I think the first half of the trip we explored London with a really good friend of ours, Musa, and he's awesome. Shout out to you.
Ultimate tour guide who
amazing.
Also loves any Asian cuisine.
Yes.
So
whenever he comes down here
we
to
have
Toronto,
stuff for you every time.
We take him around.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the first couple of days we spent in London, did a lot of steps, like 20,000 steps a day pretty much.
Yeah.
And then the second half we spent in Somerset in a little town called Yeovil. And we literally just hung out on the couch watching Netflix.
Yeah.
All day.
Binge
we
watched
would
episodes.
Wake up, watch Power, eat breakfast, watch Power, eat lunch, watch Power, eat dinner, watch Power, go to bed, wake up again, and
hold on. So one thing I'm gonna add. The reason why this trip was so amazing, remember how we mentioned that we're like foodies?
Oh yeah.
This lovely lady came back with the most ultimate jollof rice recipe.
Yeah, I did pretty well.
Mama B, Mama UK, thank you.
Yes, she taught me how to make jollof rice, and it was amazing. Maybe I'll make it on video one day, but you know what? She taught me her recipe, and I feel like I gotta keep that on the down low. Gotta keep it in the family, you know what I mean?
Nobody needs to know that.
Anyway.
Special secret.
Okay, next question. When did you know that the other person was the one?
When we first met, we kind of like were in flow, like in like that first day, you know. She'll probably dive into that story, but like when I really realized that Winnie was as awesome of a person that I could imagine was we were sitting down in York, and we both went to York U, right? We're sitting down in York U, and the area now has a Starbucks, but it was like a coffee lounge area. So we're like sitting down, and I'm doing work off my laptop. I'm like always working off my laptop, like non-stop working, and I'm typing away. And I'm thinking of designs for New Persona. So we have like, I'm a health fitness brand, we do coaching and stuff like that. But I was thinking of the design of the layout that I wanted for members to see their programs when we deliver their health and fitness programs. And she's sitting across from me. I don't even know what she's doing, but she's just sitting across from me, and I'm frantically trying to figure out what I should do. And something said, let me just ask her. I'm like, wait, just take a look at this and tell me what you think. And I turn my laptop around to her. She looks at it, and she's like, put this here, put this here, put this here, move this, do this, and delete that. And I was like, what? And I looked at the modification she made, and it made what I was trying to create look even better. This is before she even knew what I was really doing. And I'm like,
I'm good, I'm with the visuals, you know?
That's kind of what I learned. From that moment, I was like, yes.
When did I know he was the one? I had different stages. So the first day that we met, we had a really real conversation. And it was the first conversation we really ever had, and it ended up lasting like 1 or 2 hours. We were pretty much like at a party, and that's when we met, and we sat down and we were talking, and we got really in depth into I guess some of the things that, you know, kind of weigh on your heart sometimes when there's family stuff going on. My dad wasn't doing so well at the time, and Femi's mom was just recovering from something, and it, like, we spoke about it and we talked about it
on the first day.
It was the first conversation we really ever had, and it led to that. And I just remember looking at him and thinking, yo, okay, cool, that was real. I shed a tear. I don't really shed tears in front of people. I just shed a tear in front of this stranger that I just met, and that was one of the things.
This is from Kim.
Hey, Kim.
Been together almost a decade. How do you keep the fire alive? How do you keep things fresh? Natural, no play. Okay, so what I would say, like, so much. That question, I want to recap it from like the initial video that we took for this. You know, we've been together for 7 years now, and I think if I were to really dive into this specific topic, it comes down to a lesson we learned just before we got married, right? And I'm going back to the caterer. Okay, so when we were getting married, we talked to this lovely lady who was preparing the food for us for our wedding, and we actually asked her, we're like, we're about to get married, what bit of advice would you give to a newly-wed couple? And what she basically said to us was, you have to remember that your partner is your partner, and your partner is going to change. Your partner is going to change, they're going to evolve, they're going to become somebody completely different to who you married in the initial stage, that initial day. And you have to look at that person during those windows of times and really decide, am I okay with that change? You know, and I think we already had a very similar approach to that prior to getting married. You know, I think
kind of, but we didn't put it in those words. Like, no. I don't think we had the words.
We didn't know.
Really
We didn't know that definition or like that explanation of how life is. I think that's probably like how life is. And
I think we still have a long way to go, mind you. You know, I mean, yes, we've been together, 7 years, but we still have a long, we still have a lot of lifetime and experiences together that we have yet to experience and go through. And I think that was really great advice, like it was, you're both, it wasn't, you may change, it's you both are going to change.
Yeah.
And you need to know if you are okay with the change that is happening in your partner.
Yeah.
And if you're not okay with that change,
are you communicating that?
And then what's next? What happens from there?
Yeah.
And I think we have changed a lot in the last number of years. Like, we've changed a lot, even just in the last year. When life happens and when experiences and things happen in your life, that changes you. And so anyway, in terms of keeping the fire alive, I think right now, I think we're not at the point yet. We're not at the point where we're like, oh, we need to figure out how to keep this alive and fresh and I don't think we're there yet. Personally, I don't know.
I don't even know. That, in my mind, that I don't think on that track, and I'm sharing it with you and many of the other viewers right now is because if you're always focusing on growth and you're always focusing on change and you're always focusing on improving, it just becomes a part of life.
But then my question would be, what happens at that point where we've done all the things, or a lot of the things we want to achieve, we've reached all our goals, a lot of our goals at least, like we have our family goals, we're financially all right, like everything's kind of going. What then? Like, are we gonna come up with new things to keep us, the fire alive?
Wait and see.
Next question. What are your backgrounds, and have you experienced any culture clashes, whether it be taste in food or experiences from your upbringing? Francine, thank you for the question, Francine. Yeah, so what are our backgrounds? I am Indian and Nigerian. And Femi?
Trinidadian,
yes.
Born in Toronto, Canada.
And so in terms of experiencing any culture clashes, not necessarily. I mean, I think for me, so my mom's Indian, my dad's Nigerian, and I think to a certain extent they did, I think, expect me to, they are both very traditional. So it's interesting because they are themselves a mixed couple, but they're both really traditional in their own right. So I was very much raised in both traditions in both households. So they expected me to kind of go with one of their cultures, and I didn't. But you know, that's just kind of how it worked out. And look at him, or listen to him, or whatever. They love him. They like ended up, when they met him, they actually really liked him. And my dad really liked Femi, and he'd always ask for him. He was like, "How's Femi doing? Where's Femi?" But yeah.
There wasn't that much of a clash. Like, if you're from the West Indies, it's like the food is very similar.
Yes.
Right. Both areas have roti. India and Trinidad, you're getting roti, right? So, and I think like the combination of how it's so diverse being from the Caribbean, it makes it so much easier when you're connecting with somebody who is from Africa and they're from India at the same time. So we really had no issues. Everything kind of worked out pretty good, especially for food.
Last question, drum roll. Ooh, did I drop it?
Where'd it go?
I don't know.
Oh no. So we lost the question.
I lost the question, but I remember what it was. It was something about, oh, I remember, drum roll. Do the drum roll with me. Okay, so the question was from Sophia, because I took a peek at it before I opened it. And Sophia is asking, what's the best gift that we have ever given each other? It can be a material gift or it cannot. Either one.
Where shall I go?
So for me, Femi has always given me more experiential gifts. So it's always like going to a restaurant or doing something really fun. One of the best ones was actually the first birthday we ever had together, like my birthday. The first time that it was my birthday during our relationship. So we were together less than a year at that point. And he organized a surprise birthday dinner for me with my closest friends at the time. And we went to this Indian restaurant, or they were all already there, and he took me to this Indian restaurant after work. He picked me up from work, and I didn't know where we were going, where we were eating. And when we walked in, I was like, oh, this is awesome, it's an Indian place. And I was already so excited. I was like, this was the surprise. And then I go into our table and it's all of my closest friends. And I was like, wow, he actually organized all of this. And so I think that's one of the ones that sticks out in my memory when I think about it. And I'm like, oh wow, that was really nice. And at the time I was like, okay, this is cool. No one's ever done something like this for me before, so.
That was a good one. That took a lot of work. That just took a lot of work.
Yeah.
The one for me, I would say, is the day before our wedding, my birthday. What this woman did is she literally like surprised me on 3 different levels.
Yeah, so we got married the day after his birthday. So that was
a crazy
time.
Yeah. So like the day of my birthday, woke up like a regular day, and we're like prepping and getting everything ready for the wedding, which is gonna be the day after. And all I remember is she was getting her wedding dress fitted, and I had my best man and best friend, one of my best friends, I got a whole crew of them, it's a crew, right? That were gonna take me to a restaurant. Didn't even know what was happening. Like, we're gonna go take you for lunch. You're gonna have lunch I end up finding out for lunch I'm going to Korean Grill. So I'm like, this is crazy.
Basically, I didn't want to say nothing about anything.
By the way, I do not like surprises.
But I am so good at them.
I don't like surprises. So we end up going to Korean Grill and we're driving. And I'm like, who's gonna be there? They're like, don't worry. So I end up getting there. We get there late, by the way. So we're like a good 45-minute later than we're supposed to be there. And like everybody I know that's like from like way back when is at this table. I'm like, this is crazy. That's level 1. Now we're sitting at this table and we're talking and I'm like, yeah, this is good. Like, this is a good day. Like, I'm impressed. And out of nowhere, one of my other friends slips up and mentions what the other surprise is supposed to be. Which was she surprised me by taking everybody paintballing after Korean Grill.
Yep.
And then there was more people that were coming that I haven't seen from like university.
Yeah.
That were gonna be there.
All go and shoot paintballs at each other.
That was a pretty great experience.
Tell me how good I am.
That was a pretty great experience. That was that was up there. That was good.
Anyway, so I think that's all our questions. So thank you all. If you have any ideas for what you want to see from us, feel free to comment below. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and let us know what you think and what else you think we should do. I did have some questions that were some great video ideas and I put them aside. So we have some really great ideas for some videos coming up next.
Stuff is coming.
But thank you for joining us once again. My name is Winnie.
And I am Femi.
And we are the Doyle-Marshalls. Like us, subscribe to our channel, and comment below if you want to see more. Bye for now.